This episode contains discussions of mental health and bullying. Listen at your own discretion. It is Wednesday, the 28th of August, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. We're continuing on Daniel Johnston week here with a song called I'll Do Anything But Breakdance For You, Darlin'. It's the first track on the album Retired Boxer from 1984. The album has sort of this theme, kind of the title of the album comes from this idea of Daniel being a boxer past his prime, struggling to kind of stay in the ring. And that'll be very evident when we listen to the song. I don't think I have too much to say about it before we go into it. It's a bit different to the first two. The first two are kind of quicker and have a bit of wit in it. This one doesn't really have wit in it and is a lot slower and was kind of the first one. I liked his music, but listening to Retired Boxer is one of the things that really grabbed my attention because it's got this to start and it ends with True Love Will Find You in the End, which you'll remember I did a few months ago. So it really catches your attention, this one. So we'll go listen to the song now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. Oh, I love that one. Yeah, this was an early favorite for me, certainly, and still is one of my favorites. I love how much room it's given, because some of his songs are quite short, obviously, like I Had Lost My Mind Yesterday, but this one's 6 minutes. Might be one of his longest songs, I'd say, along with, Don't Play Cards with Satan, maybe? It's great. I love how much space is given to the lyrics. There's not that many words in it. There's just a lot of time given to the piano doing its thing, doing the chords and the do-do-do, and also him humming along. I just think it creates a really interesting vibe and I enjoy it. Now let's start talking about the sad, sad lyrics. Sometimes I feel like I am a boxer. Seems like I'm always standing in the ring. And then I find someone's been in my locker and left me a note that said, I can't sing. I'll do anything but breakdance for you, darling. So the first bit is what I was talking about before. He sees himself as a boxer standing in the ring. And it's this idea of always being under pressure, always being attacked on all sides, always, feeling like he's standing in the ring, like he has to fight all the time. It's about his constant struggling, And then someone leaving him a note in his locker saying he can't sing. God, how old was Daniel even when this was made? Yeah, Daniel Johnston was 23 when this song came out. He's pretty young, and he would have those fresh memories of people bullying him in school. And this is something he brings up in his songs, because he was a weirdo. He was an outsider. He didn't talk or think how other people did. And he had, problems, meltdowns, mental health problems. But he wanted to be a singer. He wanted to be a musician. He was always creative. And so someone leaves him a note that says he can't sing. And that's just devastating. And the people who do that, the bullies, don't understand the impact. What's the axe forgets but the tree remembers, right? They don't remember that they did that. They just did a little impulse thing to kind of get a cheap laugh out of hurting someone. And he remembers it years later and puts it in a song because that's what he does. We're going to be talking about that a lot tomorrow. And it really shows how much that impacted him, because you don't forget things like that. As much as it was just meaningless high school bullying, it has an effect. It's not meaningless, And then the I'll do anything but breakdance for you, darling, is a great line. It's very, what do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a big lasso around and pull it down for you. Yeah, it's good. I'll give you the moon. What about that? He's expressing love for someone and saying, I would do anything for you. But he realistically says, but I won't breakdance, which is it's kind of joking, I guess, but it's a very sweet sentiment. There is a caveat to this, but I don't think you would expect me to breakdance, One would assume that the darling he is referring to is Laurie. I don't know if that's ever been confirmed, but you can generally assume if there's a love song by Daniel Johnston that he's probably writing about Laurie. Anyway, second verse. I've just stepped out of the Donaker. I don't know what happened and I can't remember, but I was soon to discover that my radio had been broken. I'll do anything but breakdance for you, darling. Apparently, Donaker is a slang term for toilet. I didn't know that until I heard this song. I don't know if it's a Texas thing, but yeah, it's a slang term for a toilet. Yeah, I just stepped out of the Donaker. Kind of rhymes with locker from the previous verse in a way. Locker, boxer, Donaker, discover. They're all pretty slanted rhymes, but it kind of gives it this rhythm, But yeah, his radio had been broken. I wonder if that's also supposed to be the same bullying. You can't sing, the radio's been broken. It's people wearing away at him, and destroying the things that he loves and that makes him happy is the music. And then the chorus of, don't you know that I love you, don't you know that I love you, love you. And then you get him humming along to the song. And then you get all the folks on dope in search of hope, everybody in the lonely orphans, and everyone around the world, every boy and every girl. For all the good times, always remember and never forget, in my secret heart, I'll do anything but break dance for you, darling. Don't you know that I love you, love you. Don't you know that I love you, love you. It's interesting how the I'll do anything but break dance for you, darling, and the chorus of Don't You Know That I Love You are very straightforward, loving lyrics, presumably expressed to a person, an object of affection, right? But the rest of it is about bullying and struggling. You know, he talks about being a retired boxer who feels like he's always in the ring, talks about people bullying him in school, telling him he can't sing, destroying his radio. And then he gives this whole long thing of the folks on dope in search of hope, lonely orphans, every boy and every girl. Just, you know, telling people not to give up hope. And it's a really interesting message because, I mean, I keep talking this week about how depressing Daniel's life was and how horrible it was for him, mental health-wise and physical health-wise too. So it really does feel inspiring when he tells you, remember the good times, that's what it's all about. It makes it worth it and you're never struggling alone. I really find that an inspiring message. It's not a unique message to have in a song, but it works very well here because you know that Daniel knows what he's talking about. You know that he has struggled, you know, so it makes it all that more affecting. Yeah, I think that's all I pretty much have to say about this one. I love it so much. I love the melody of it. The don't you know that I love you, do, do, do. The piano playing with his singing. I love the whole sound of that. It's so nice. This is a great one. This has been on my sleep playlist for a long time, so it's probably one of my most played songs on Spotify. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. Thank you so much for listening again during this Daniel Johnston week. Please give me a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.